My sister's car wouldn't start, so I'm going to show you how I accessed the 2 electrical connections I removed and the 2 bolts I took out to free the broken starter. But first, I had to locate her in the parking deck and then set up the car to even get access to the starter. So my sister's car won't start, and we're gonna see why. She has a lifetime starter, but I wanna check the battery first. Let's see how this Honda battery is doing. Oh, the battery looks pretty good, voltage-wise anyway. Let's find the starter. I needed to jack the front of the car up, but it was so close to the curb that I had them push it out a little bit so the bumper wouldn't hit the curb. All right, that's good. Good old Honda. You got the parking brake on?
Yeah.
All right.
Take it off?
No, leave it. I'm gonna jack up right here. I was happy to see that newer Hondas had a similar jack point as to the old ones I've had. I had only brought one jack stand, and I quickly realized that I'd be better off with it on the passenger side of the car. Actually, it's on this side.
The starter is?
Well, I need to access it from this side, and I didn't think to bring 2 of these. So after I had the car securely on the jack stand, I disconnected the negative battery terminal and slid under the car from the passenger side. So there's a starter right there. I need to take this out, remove that connector. It's easy enough to get to. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. Yeah, that one. My hand's gonna be in the way when I pull it out. It's just a little tab. And now it's disconnected. I press down on that little tab right there. And I was gonna take this off, but it was just sitting there. It wasn't really connected. This was supposed to be slid on and latched into this, but either it wasn't latched all the way or the catch is broken. Nevertheless, it slid off. And I think I can take this boot off and reveal 12mm nut. There we go. Once I cracked it free, it was loose enough for me to back it off by hand. There it is. What I disconnected was the positive power cable to the starter. This is the boot I was talking about, and the nut was here. And the starter's held on with 2 bolts that can be removed with a 14mm. There's one on the bottom and there's one on the top. Easy to get to, and it wasn't too terribly tight. One more to go. And that's the upper one there. So when I get on it, you're not gonna be able to see me do it, but that's it. There we go. And there's the long one. And with that, the starter was out. All we had to do was go to the auto parts store and swap out for a new one. And about 20 minutes later, I was back with the new starter. This will be quicker than taking it out. I didn't do the last replacement, but the starter she got from AutoZone lasted as long as the original starter that came on the car. So I'm gonna drive this one in so it keeps the top lined up, because I'll be going kind of blind on the top one. I think I finally got the top one started. Now for the bottom one. Oh, there's a little lock washer on this one. I'm glad I pulled this down. I didn't see that before. So that's what I'm putting on right there. I put the lock washer between the nut and the ring terminal. That boot was giving me trouble, so I folded it back like that. Hopefully that'll make it easier for me to get everything on. Oh yeah, that makes it a lot better. All right, put the boot back down, plug this plug back up. It's the black plug. It's the signaling. Let's see. Was this ever on right? This one was never on right to begin with, but now it's on right. I think we're done. Yeah, they got funky
He's got those too.
numbers.
Please don't electrocute yourself.
I'm not. Give it a shot.
Let's go. Let's go.
Give it a shot. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna pack up and we can go home. I don't know what that strange rattle was right after the start but before the idle, but it's been starting reliably ever since, and at some point I may look into that. Thanks for watching. Take care.